Yes, I hail up all gods and goddesses, man. Yes. Good well, man, I come here come all a reason, few days, But man have things to do still. Yeah, this is I come here reason, and but I'm a duty still. Yes. So we are say ash to all the ancestors and all the ones who there in the struggle with we. Tonight, we want to educate some brothers and sisters out there who want to learn about some things that went on in our history. See? Because as we see right now, the people that run the world decide what is right and what is wrong. And want to tell us how to point our moral compass. When if you dig in a for them closet, you're going to find a whole heap of undesirable things that them no wife find. See? So tonight I want to come and talk about back when the British Empire that we hear about. When them used to smuggle drugs. Yes. The British Empire. Which was, as we know it today, the United Kingdom of Great Britain. See? England. With Queen Elizabeth sit on the throne. A lot of ones who come from former colonies revere them. The British were drug smugglers. Yes. And a class A drugs them used to smuggle too up until 1915. 1915 are just the other day, now 2020. See, I talk about what? 5 years ago. They been a smuggle drugs. They will give the history about it. You see, it's a funny thing, because we see now, them a lock up people for ganja. Them say that class B drugs, see? Yeah, them a lock up for weed. Them say it bad. How long them a fight on this ganja? And them still a fight it to this day. See? So what I talk about when the British government was smuggling opium, which is today known as heroin. Yeah, man. The biggest mafia, some of the biggest mafia that ever occupy this here planet we live upon are the people them who put on suit and tie and call themselves government. Yeah, man, these Europeans. Look here, we doesn't look up on the American them, because remember the American them used to push crack cocaine in the black community and give people them all kind of vaccines and injections and all kind of diseases. And if them go outside America and do it in Africa, Latin America, and all over the world. But I tell you, say, the British used to smuggle heroin. They were drug smugglers. So don't make nobody fool you and come and talk about a lot of ones out there, they're just ignorant still. And I come and talk about the Colombians, them, and the Mexicans, and this and that, and cartels. They're the biggest cartel, man. Organized cartel too, because they had government behind them, and they had their own armies. Yeah, man. So you see what I talk about? Rule Britannia rule the waves. Yeah, man, them in a rule it, them in a run racketeering and thing them in a deal with. Them in a run racket, extortion, drug smuggling. Yeah, them are going to the next man land and smuggle drugs when it's illegal in there. Alright. So, we want to talk about tonight how the British Empire, see, they get China hooked on opium. And that is how them get rich. Along with slavery, of course. Because this is what these Europeans do. They get rich at other people's expenses. See? Other people who do not look like them. They oppress them. And do them all type of wickedness. And get rich. And then when they don't make enough money, that which they were doing to get rich, they turn around and say, oh, this is illegal. We can't do that no more. And if we catch you do it, we'll lock you up. And a lot of we don't know history will run behind that. And gallivant and say, yes, 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 and all type of foolishness. So, when we get a little history about this opium thing, the same poppy plant, when them take and make heroin. Yes, when people are shooting at them arm today. So the British now got China hooked on heroin. Because China used to grow heroin in the 11th century. See? But it only became a big hit in the 17th century. When people realized that they can smoke this opium as opposed to chewing it. So, by the time the 1800s come around in China, them had a lot of foggy back alley dens. You know what I mean? Some back road place where people go and smoke heroin and get high. Smoking opium. Yes, opioid, yes. So, in the streets of a place called Canton, known today as Guangzhou. See? Them had a lot of these back alley dens. And in Shanghai, China, yes. Them also had some in Limehouse, London, and Pennyfield Street. I tell you. But anyhow, in the early 19th century, see, China was exporting stuff like tea, silk, and ceramics. This was very popular in Britain. But them time the England have nothing for offer. The only thing they have to export to people is opium. Yeah. So, come 1890 now, in China, as much as 15 million people was addicted to opium. See? And them claim that this is one of the worst cases of national addiction ever known on the face of the earth that them ever see. So, these British now, at the time, they colonized India. So they were growing their opium in India. See? And then they must ship it to Canton, which is the same Guangzhou. And the Chinese traders are taking it into China. So, the British trade started increasing as the opium again popularity. Because remember, man, I smoke it now, you know. See, them stop through them a smoke. So in the 1800, Britain, see, shipped 300 metric tons of opium into China. 1 ton, you know, is 1 kilogram, you know. You understand? 1 metric ton is 1 kilogram, you know. Sorry. 1 metric ton is 1,000 kilograms, yeah? 1,000 kilograms is 1 metric ton, see? And them ship 300 of that. So them ship 300,000 metric tons. So imagine 1,000 tons. And 1 ton is what? 1,000 kilograms. So imagine 1,000 kilograms. 300 times. See? Yes. So them ship that in 1800 in China. By the time 1840 come around, 40 years later, them increase that to 3,500 metric tons of opium, what we call heroin today. And look here, are the same effects like what heroin give, you know, because long-term users of heroin are suffer from things like liver, kidney, and heart problems. And them even will die from withdrawal symptoms. Yes, just like our drug addict could dead. You understand, and suffer some serious withdrawal symptoms if him stop take crack or heroin. See? Anyhow, in 1729, the emperor in China called Yongzheng banned opium use in China after him see how detrimental it was and his citizens. Them not pay attention, them love this thing so bad. But everybody ignore that. Everybody still a smoke them heroin, them opium. Come back in 1796 again. See? Emperor called Zhuading. King. Spelled J-I-A-Q-I-N-G. Ban it again. Because everybody did ignore the first ban. So imagine, you know, China, the Chinese emperor, ban the use of opium in China. So it become illegal. The British not give a damn. Britain ignore the ban, break Chinese law, and continue to smuggle opium into China. Guess what? It took profitable for them to stop. See? Because in 1831, you know, Britain shipped 981,000 pounds worth of heroin, which will be equivalent to 100 million pounds in a 2 days money. Because them had an opioid monopoly trade in a China. See? And this trade was worth 100 million pounds in a 2 days money. Back then, 981,000 pounds. By the time, you see when the 1830s and the 1830s, you know, people of all classes in a China were hooked on opium, you know, this heroin, you know. See? So now, Emperor Da Guang, spelled D-A-O-G-U-A-N-G, Da Guang, yeah? He received reports of mass addiction all over China because all body smoke. Middle class, upper class, poor people, you understand? Aristocrats, all body smoke heroin, you know, opium in China them time 1830s. So this other emperor now order his soldier them after he get the reports how China come now. All body smoke heroin and they get high. The man order the soldiers them to burn all the opium they can find. So the British traders them lost 20,000 chests of opium, which was worth 2 million pounds back then. See? This led to the first opium war in 1839. The British them get angry and say, what? China boy them burn up my drugs. Me smuggling them place. Imagine, you know. It's like, imagine England say, just like England say, weed illegal. See? Or cocaine. And Escobar smuggled some weed and some cocaine in England. And England burn it down. And Escobar get ratted and send an army after them. How that song? What did that England do to China? See? So now, the man start the opium war. The first opium war in 1839. Britain get vexed. Like me say, because them opium burn up. And say they want reparations for their financial loss they incurred. You could imagine that? You will sell drugs in the people in place. Yo. And them, them decide to burn it up, find it and burn it up. Illegal drug smuggling, no. England involved in it. The great British Empire. The same British Empire that Boris Johnson say should have never end. And some people are back Boris. Am I idiot, man? I dunce them dunce, all of them. These people are smuggled drugs, the British Empire, into China, opium, we call heroin today. And the Chinese emperor ordered the army, the same soldier them, to burn down everything. And England turned around and said, we want reparations. And up to now, none of them that think they should give we black people reparations for enslaving our ancestors, you know. You understand? Alright. Look how the boy, them bunctious, eh? Look how the man them brazen. The man said them want economic reparations for the financial loss they incurred while them a traffic illegal drugs in the people them place. Alright. Yo, the man them even get angry. This British Empire, this Britain, you know, get angry because China refused to open their ports to British traders, you know. These drug smugglers were British drug smugglers. China say, we lock off the port, you can't come in here so. England vex and say, China are disrespect their traders, i.e. their drug smugglers. Imagine that a man try to come smuggle drugs in a country and lock off a port. And them say you are disrespect. Yeah, you know see them as some gangster. It's some gangster thing, you know. You understand? Like some gangster or smuggle something. Then the mafia say, yo, you disrespect me, you know. You know, like, you know our culture. When you do your thing, and you're a rude man. And you have your corner. See? And I want next man come up on your corner. It's like, whether you deal with machete, you pull out the ratchet. And they say, hey boy, you know, so me feel you all disrespect me, you know. Me I deal with you. Yeah, I saw England tell China. England say, yo, China, me feel say all that disrespect me, you know. Because I want me to report them for let me in, you know. Let me sell my thing, you know. Yeah, man. I don't think England I go on with. So now, the British newspapers back then say, they describe the Chinese as barbarians who insulted the honor of Britons abroad. So these British drug smugglers, say them honorable. I sure I read something where them say there's no honor amongst thieves. These drug smugglers want to be seen as honorable people. Hey, them not easy, no. Here England bad now, no. England decide them gonna occupy Hong Kong. This is how them gonna get Hong Kong now, you know. This is why I say, yo, you talk about, you think of black people wanna sell out? These people in Hong Kong we see today, you know. I fight it, you know. I try to fight against China, you know. Them own people don't fight, you know. For England, you know. And them so foolish. England give some of them some passport. Say, them are British overseas nationals. And guess what? They don't even want the paper. It depends because you know, when you're British overseas national, you don't have no rights in England, you know. A man from a farmer colony, i.e. down in the Caribbean, can come here. The same 6 months you get, them say them a British overseas national, and them come to England. At 6 months them I get. Them can't spend more than 6 months, and them can't work, and them can't go to school. Because you know the back and all them have in Hong Kong now. When them try with China and them say whatever China try suppress free speech and all them things. They want to have, oh, we can offer these Hong Kong national British overseas nationals a pathway to residency and citizenship. That just goes to show me I tell you. It's true. So it's like a mama guy thing we call it. Foolishness then. They might try to make them feel like if you're British overseas national. So them have some sell out them own. And I know what them are. I doubt that these people living in Hong Kong even know how England are pandit half Hong Kong. That England used to sell them ancestors heroin, get them hooked on drugs. Can't have people today we can tell you, feed them grandpapa. Been a heroin addict, a opium addict. Anyway, we come off the topic. So England now decided to occupy Hong Kong, which was an act of war. And China ceded possession of Hong Kong in 1841 and signed the Treaty of Nanking. 1 year later, in 1842, which ended the first Opium War. Yeah, yo, this is not a joke thing, you know. I tell you, the man is some gangster, you know. The English boy, you know. Anyway, that is how the British Empire got to colonize Hong Kong. And they got paid for illegally smuggling drugs into another country. Yes. Look here. The man them brazen, you know. The man them make China have to pay them, you know, when them sign this Treaty of Nanking, you know. You understand? Give them Hong Kong. And in so doing, when China give them Hong Kong, England get a new base now if we smuggle opium from. Because when they bring the opium from India now, they just bring as much as them like and put them in a Hong Kong. Because that is another British colony now. So they just bring it from India, store as much as them like in a Hong Kong. And then get some China man now for smuggle it into China. So then, at the time, you know, opium was still illegal in China in 1842, after the war. See? So all of this thing illegal now, it have some Chinese. See? Sorry, the Chinese were forced, yeah? Although the opium was illegal, heroin that we call it today, in China in the 1840s. See? China had to allow, they were forced to allow the British to continue trading and bringing in their heroin into China. It's like this opium consumption, you know, it ripped to China, you know, on a next level. Because now they have just allow England to do them why. England bully them. The British Empire bully China now. So you have to allow me to sell my opium, man. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah. So now, what do you think happen now? Chinese smugglers now realize that if they register their ships in a Hong Kong, see, as British ships, they'll be able to smuggle in opium into China. So you see now, some China man in now, them not business, them just study money, and sell out them own kind, and they said, you know what, I register my ship them in a Hong Kong. Just like how nowadays, certain shipping companies are register their ships in certain countries to avoid the law, avoid some laws, so them contravene certain things and infringe people's rights. Them not have to pay something, you understand, compensation, and then get away with a whole heap of things. Yeah. So now these sellout Chinese now, I register them ship in a Hong Kong so them can smuggle. And this will lead to the second Opium War now. This trigger off a second Opium War in 1856. Because a Chinese flag, a Chinese ship flying the Union Jack, yeah, the British flag known as the Union Jack, was seized by the Chinese authorities. And the Chinese men were arrested and the British flag was torn down. At the bacchanal start. Now the British Navy along with some French soldiers seized Beijing in retaliation and loot and burn down the Imperial Summer Palace. See? And China was forced to legalize the importation of heroin. Opium come legal now in China after the 1856 Opium War. Just because China lock up some Chinaman who register them ship in a Hong Kong where the British them colonize and take off the British flag. England and France rush up on China and say, yo, what we are dealing with, boy? You because remember England and say, no, feel all that disrespect me, no boy, China boy. See? Now England and France rush up and rush China. China now for allow the man them for smuggling heroin in them place. So anyway now, China end up on to legalize the importation of heroin. See? Now the imports from Britain almost triple. Because now, what do you think the man will do? 6,500 metric tons the man ship now in 1880. You know? Yeah, no joke thing. Yeah. Because in 1840, you know, yeah, the man them been a ship 3,500 metric tons into China. See? But by 1880, Britain shipped 6,500 metric tons into China that year. Wow. You know, yo, that was, remember now, 1,000 tons. Sorry, 1,000 kilograms is 1 metric ton, you know. So, 6,500,000, brethren. Say 1,000 kilograms. 6,500 kilo. Yo, oh. 6,500,000 kilograms, you know. I hear the man them shipping to China, you know, in 1880, you know. So, China scratch over and say, boy, it look like me can't beat them man, you know, because they're too powerful. And them and France young for me. Me can't beat them, I best me join them. So China start to get into the heroin trade now. China said, me supply my own people them. And then, come like now we think get water down, and then that's so profitable no more. Because now, people start to say it's immoral what England do. You understand? Man start to question the moral and political reasoning behind that. Morally, that don't look good. Politically, people are challenging them now. See? Yeah. Opposition are grow. So England decided to stop smuggling opium into China because basically it's not profitable no more because them never really business will criticize them, you know. But China in panic now and China smuggle too. Well, China not smuggle for them place. China made it legal. Because remember, when they make a product, if a product illegal, you know, the demand go up, you know, and the price gone up. So from China make it legal now, and China bring it in. Now make plenty money no more. And you know the Chinese people, China man end up on just buy from him own kind. Because the Chinese people stay. You never see a China man go to a white man shop and a China man have a shop there, you know. Or a China man go to a black man shop and a China man have a shop there. And those black people do them thing there. See? So, where I show you now, the British Empire was one of the biggest drug smugglers in history, man. See? They make Pablo Escobar and El Chapo and them, man, they look like babies. Yeah. So don't let nobody fool you. And come tell about, oh, Italian mafia, Colombian cartel, Medellin cartel, Cali cartel, or the Mexican cartel. The British Empire smuggle more drugs than them, man. And them had armies too. And France been about them. Yeah. So yet, you see man like Boris Johnson come and talk foolishness. But colonization should not have ended. And he don't think that Britain should cringe at what they did when they had their so-called empire. Seriously, brethren? So, you don't think it was a bad thing? It's not a horrible thing that England was smuggling heroin, opium back then, what we call heroin today, into China, a narcotic, a drug, destroyed how many people's lives. It have people today, Chinese people, I tell you, them had grandparents who was hooked on heroin. Yeah. Look here. You see the energy project? You have to be careful what kind of energy you project out there, you know. Careful what kind of energy you put up there. You put out there. Because no wonder if you look on the streets of England, you see so much white people. See? White, British, English people. Who can all type of drugs. Crack, heroin, spice, all type of things, man. So when they put out these type of things out there, when they say, yeah, they was right when they did them thing in the empire. How much youth at school know that England used to smuggle heroin? England was one of the biggest opium smugglers. When they call heroin today, the same thing they say. Them man in Afghanistan, them bad man who they call, the man who them say bad, not them Taliban man, I smuggle heroin. Them say the Colombian them smuggle cocaine and heroin, and the Mexican them. Look how much them fight on ganja, marijuana, the herb. See? So man I come talk about Pablo Escobar. And when Pablo Escobar run for parliament and whatever, and them fight on Escobar. And them and them Yankee friend them. Them are smuggling most drugs. 6,500 metric tons of heroin, opium was smuggled into China in 1880 by the British. It's only 1915, after it became less profitable, that England stopped smuggling heroin into China after China made it legal. And then I make no money off it no more. So when man like, me see some people, I come talk about Boris didn't do some, but it's not Boris who is killing people. It's not Boris who bring corona. Yo, Boris say, colonization should not have ended. And Britons should stop cringing over what they did in the empire. When they had some racist man like Winston Churchill all them and them kind of man the Boris back. So England is a bunch of drug smugglers. And that is how them get rich. Just like how we have a lot of high people in our society today who get rich by selling ganja or cocaine early up, and then them clean them money and open hotels and big business, and them go to school and now some of them wear coat and tie. See? And the same thing England do. England used to smuggle drugs, and then just like how them used to do slavery, them in the slave trade, and then after when they don't make them money, and people cry foul, they make it illegal and take the moral high ground. And a lot of ones, especially a lot of the older generation, are turn idiot and I rate England. And them not know these things and them not teach you them things in a school. And me I come in and talk them things and I'm going to find out them things for myself. And I go on like if England this and that and England so great. See? The British Empire was drug smugglers. It's drugs who make England rich. Drugs, selling heroin to China, opium, yes, and slavery. And robbing and thieving and pillaging around the world. It's that we get them rich. See, just like how them say, El Chapo and Escobar and them man they get rich by smuggling cocaine or whatever them smuggle. And the same thing England do. It's not no different. Put that in a pipe and smoke it. And right, you may leave it. See? Manners and respect. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend for tell a friend and tell a friend. We are speak up for the advancement of black people. See? So, if a man wants to smoke him little ganja, I hustle him little ganja, brethren, that business them, man. Because them been a dumb too until them get rich. How you think them get rich? This is why. Look here, I come and do a video the other day and talk about ill-gotten gains, you know. And a lot of people go on with me and talk about. But these are the same ill-gotten gains where England get from smuggling heroin. Them need to give it back to China. And plus all the slavery them do to my ancestors. And all the gold and diamond with them teeth out of Africa. How much hands them chop off. How much of my mothers, my ancestors them rape. How much babies them kill and all type of wickedness. Them are the American, them are the European them. And now them walk come go on. When them was a bunch of drug smugglers and pirates and old thieves. See? So, put that in your pipe and smoke it who not like it. See? So we need to put it out there that the British Empire was a bunch of drug smugglers. They were smuggling heroin, what they call opium back then, into China until 1915. While it was illegal in China, and China said them no want it in them place, England have business with China say basically bully China and smuggle heroin in there. I get them in army for back them, and that is how they end up and get Hong Kong. And then they give it back to China the other day. And they have some Chinese people who say them are Hong Kong citizens. I don't idiot. Do they not know that these British people they sell heroin to them ancestors and get them hooked on opium? I know them give some of them a passport that they say them are British overseas national and them can't come to England come live. Them can only come here and spend 6 months like anybody else. Why idiot, man? See? England, the UK, the British Empire. Drug smugglers, man. And all what defend the drug smuggler. You know, them army. You don't need to take a look at yourself. When you get them kind of information and say, yo, how we really defend you? See? Because I watch it. British Navy ship in the Caribbean waters. A pull gun per man and a stop man who go cross the Caribbean Sea with them little herb. And whoever and say them a lock up man for smuggling drugs. When them in a smuggle class A drugs, heroin. Yo, man has a respect, man. Me gone, man. Blessed. No, be more. See? Me not tell you to be blessed. Be more. Rise up. See? Alright, love.